Good morning, everyone. God bless you. Welcome again to one more segment of Arise with myself, your host, J Danielle Taylor. And we are excited to be here again with you on this blessed Saturday morning to lift up the name of the Lord. Yes, 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 you are absolutely correct. This is day 354 of our 365-day journey through the Bible together, which means we have 11 days left as of today. When we finish the broadcast today, we will have 10 days left in our broadcast, and we are just super excited about what the Lord is doing through us. So do me a favor, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the share button. Excuse me, guys. Let someone know that we are on so that we can go ahead and share the word of the Lord. If you would look down at the bottom of the screen, be reminded that for 10 more days, you can find me on the following social media outlets at 6:30 a.m. on YouTube or Twitter at J Danielle Taylor, Facebook J Danielle McCoy Taylor, and on Instagram at J Danielle Taylor Official. Also, you can find me on TikTok at Lady J Danielle, and do remember to visit my website, jdanielletaylor.com, to find all of the latest events that we are doing, as well as get a copy of my book, Rescue Me. It's an absolutely phenomenal workbook that you should get for yourself, for your church group or ministry. We are going to go ahead and move into the word of the Lord. Today is Saturday, and what we do on Saturday is our self care day, when we just talk about and give some nuggets about self care. But we are going to shift that to the end of the broadcast, and we're going to read first. Then we're going to come back and give you some nuggets on self care. So let's get into the word of the Lord. And we are in the Old Testament book of Ezra. We're reading from Ezra chapter 6 and 7. Ezra chapter 6 and 7. And it reads, King Darius then issued an order, and they searched in the archives stored in the treasury at Babylon. A scroll was found in the citadel of Ecbatana in the province of Media, and this was written on it. In the first year of King Cyrus, the king issued a decree concerning the temple of God at Jerusalem. Let the temple be rebuilt as a place to present sacrifices. Let its foundations be laid. It is to be 60 cubits high and 60 cubits wide, with 3 courses of large stones and 1 timber, and it gives the cost to be paid in the treasury. Also, the articles of silver and the articles of gold of the house of God, which Nebuchadnezzar took from the temple in Jerusalem and brought to Babylon, they are to be returned to their places in the temple in Jerusalem, and they are to be deposited in the house of God. Now then, Tattenai, governor, and Shethar Bozenah and other officials in the province, stay away from there. Do not interfere with the work of the temple of God. Let the governor of the Jews and the Jewish elders rebuild this his house of God on its site. Moreover, I hereby decree what you are to do for these elders of the Jews in the construction of this house of God. Their expenses are to be paid out of the royal treasury from the revenues of the Trans Euphrates, so that the work will not stop. Whatever is needed, young bulls, rams, male lambs for burnt offerings of God to the heavens, wheat, salt, wine, olive oil, as requested by the priests in Jerusalem, must be given to them daily without fail, so that they may offer sacrifices pleasing to the God of heaven, and pray for the well-being of the kings and his sons. Furthermore, I decree that if anyone defies this edict, a beam is to be pulled from their house, and they are to be impaled on it. And for this crime, their house is to be made a pile of rubble. May God, who has caused his name to dwell there, overthrow any king or people who lifts his hands to change this decree or destroy the temple in Jerusalem. I, Darius, have decreed it. Let it be carried out with diligence. Then, because of the decree Darius sent, Tattenai, governor, and Shethar-bozenah and their associates carried it out with diligence. So the elders of the Jews continued to build and prosper under the teaching of Haggai the prophet and Zechariah. They finished building the temple according to the command of the God of Israel and the decrees of Cyrus, Darius, Artaxerxes, king of Persia, and the temple was completed on the third day in the month of Adar, in the seventh year of the reign of King Darius. Then the people of Israel, the priests, the Levites, and the rest of the elders celebrated the dedication of the house of God with joy. For the dedication of the house of God, 100 bulls, 200 rams, 400 male lambs, and a sin offering, and for all Israel, 12 male goats, one for each tribe of Israel. They installed the priests in their divisions and the Levites in their groups for the service of God at Jerusalem, according to what is written in the book of Moses. On the 14th day of the first month, the exiles celebrated the Passover. The priests and Levites had purified themselves and were all ceremonially clean. The Levites slaughtered the Passover lamb for all the exiles, for their relatives, the priests, and for themselves. So the Israelites who had returned from the exile ate it, and together with all who separated themselves from the unclean practices of their Gentiles neighbors in order to seek the Lord, the God of Israel. For 7 days they celebrated with joy the festival of unleavened bread, because the Lord had filled with them with joy by changing the attitude of the king of Assyria. So he assisted them in the work in the house of God, the God of Israel. Ezra 7. After these things, during the reign of Artaxerxes, king of Persia, and it gives all the sons' name. Then Ezra came up from Babylon. He was a teacher, well versed in the law of God, which the Lord God of Israel had given. The king had granted him everything he asked for. The hand of God was on him. Some of the Israelites, including priests, Levites, musicians, gatekeepers, and temple servants, also came up to Jerusalem in the seventh year of King Artaxerxes. Ezra arrived in Jerusalem in the fifth month of the seventh year of the king. He had begun his journey from Babylon on the first day of the month. For Ezra for the gracious hand of God, his God was on him. Ezra had devoted himself to the study and observance of the law of God and to teaching his decrees and laws in Israel. Now let's move to our New Testament scripture coming from the book of Revelation, Revelation 12 and 1, and we're going to end at 13 and 1. Please do me a favor and go ahead and hit that share button so that someone else can get the word of the Lord this morning. Revelation 12 and 1, and we're going to end at 13 and 1. And it says, a great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and a crown of 12 stars on her head. She was pregnant and cried out in pain as she was about to give birth. Then another sign appeared in heaven, an enormous red dragon with seven heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns on its head. Its tail swept a third of the stars out of the sky and flung them to the earth. The dragon stood in front of the woman who was about to give birth, so that it might devour her child the moment he was born. So she gave birth to a male child who will rule the nations with an iron scepter, and her child was snatched up to God and to his throne. And the woman fled into the wilderness to a place prepared for her by God, where she might be taken care of for 1260 days. Then the war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back, but he was not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven. The great dragon was hurled down, and the ancient serpent called the devil or Satan, who leads the whole world astray. He was hurled to the earth, and his angels with him. Then I heard a loud voice in heaven say, now have come the salvation and power and the kingdom of God, the authority of our Messiah, for the accuser of our brothers and sisters who accuses them before God day and night has been hurled down. They triumphed over him by the blood of the Lamb, by the word of their testimony. They did not love their lives so much as to shrink from death. Therefore rejoice, you heavens, and you who dwell in them. And woe to the earth and the sea, because the devil has gone down to you. He is filled with fury because he knows that his time is short. When the dragon saw that he had been hurled to the earth, he pursued the woman who had given birth to the male child. The woman was given 2 wings of a great angel so she might fly to the place prepared for her in the wilderness, where she would be taken care of for a time and times and half a time, out of the serpent's reach. Then out of the mouth of the serpent spewed water like a river to overtake the woman and sweep her away with the torrent. But the earth helped the woman by opening its mouth and swallowing the river that the dragon had spewed out of his mouth. When the dragon was enraged at the woman, he went off to wage war against the rest of her offspring, those who kept God's command and hold fast their testimony about Jesus. Revelation 3 and 1. And the dragon stood on the shore of the sea. I saw a beast coming out of the sea. It had 10 horns and 7 heads and 10 crowns on its horns, and on each head a blasphemous name. Our last scripture is coming from the book of Psalms, Psalms 145, 8 through 13, Psalms 145, 8 through 13. And it reads, the Lord is gracious and compassionate, slow to anger and rich in love. The Lord is good to all. He has compassion on all he has made. All your works praise you, Lord. Your faithful people extol you. They tell of the glory of your kingdom and speak of your might, so that all people may know your mighty acts and the glorious splendor of your kingdom. Your kingdom is an everlasting kingdom. Your dominion endures through all generations. The Lord is trustworthy in all he promises and faithful in all that he does. We thank God for the reading of his word. I pray that something was read will be a blessing into your hearing. And as I said at the beginning of the broadcast, today is Saturday. And what do we do on Self Care Saturday? Just that. We make sure that we learn something to help us take care of ourselves. So today, our topic is going to be on self care about your mind, how to take care of your mind. Now, I know you're thinking to yourself, well, how to look after your mental health is a better topic. How to look after your mental health. Let me get this on the screen for you. How to look after your mental health. Of course, in self care, we talk about taking care of our bodies and taking care of our mental health. But today, we just want to focus on taking care of our mental health. As we know, we serve God with our minds. This is how we formulate everything is it happens in our thoughts first. And in order to be healthy enough to carry out the things of God, we have to make sure that we totally take care of our mental health. I know as I have gone through some of the struggles and trials and things that I've had in life, there were different tactics and different things that I had to learn to be able to overcome my emotions so that I could focus and be able to still carry out the duties that I needed to carry out as a mother, as a wife, as a businesswoman, as a minister, leader, as a member of the community. Because one of the things that we understand is our mind is so very important and valuable that it causes us to move forward, or it can cause us to shut down. It can cause us to be distracted by things that are not important. So, how do we learn to take care of our minds and to refocus ourselves so that we can do the things that we need to do in the earth realm in the midst of a storm? In the midst of a trial, how can we even keep ourselves so that we keep our peace and that our peace will not be taken regardless of what it is that's happening or what it is that we are going through? So, the first thing is to talk about your feelings. Talk about your feelings. It is so important to take care of yourself and get the most out of life. And there are practical things to help take care of your mental health. Talking about your feelings can help you stay in good mental health and deal with times when you feel troubled. Talking about your feelings is not a sign of weakness, it's a part of taking charge of your well being and doing what you can to stay healthy. Talking can be a way to cope with the problem you've been carrying around in your head for a while. Just being listened to can help you feel supported and less alone. And it works both ways. If you open up and might encourage others to do the same. And I want to point out this sentence that says, to cope with a problem you've been carrying around in your head for a while. There's that thing again in your head. You've got to remember that every problem that you face is in your head. How do you even tangibly see a problem? A problem is not tangible. A problem that you're carrying around is the remembrance of an occasion, an action, or something that has been said or done. It is not a tangible thing. So you've got to deal with these problems by making sure that you keep your thoughts, you have the right thoughts, you have the right outlook on these experiences that you're carrying around in your heads. And one of the ways that you can do this is to talk about it. Talk to someone about it. Make sure that you are talking to someone that A is going to keep your information confidential, So it will be good to choose someone that is a professional in that area so that you will know that they are bound by the laws of confidentiality. The next thing is to keep active. Keep active. Now I know you're saying, well, how does keeping active play a part in taking care of your mental health? Experts believe that exercise releases chemicals in your brain that makes you feel good. Regular exercise can boost self-esteem and can help you concentrate, sleep, and feel better. I'm going to tell you guys a true story in just a moment. Exercising doesn't mean sport or going to the gym. Walks in the park, gardening, or housework can also keep you active. Experts say most people should do about 30 minutes of exercise at least 5 times a week or 5 days a week. So I remember the first time I started to work out or just go to the gym, get on the treadmill a little bit. I was so lethargic. I had gotten to a point where every day I was so tired. And one of my friends, who's a police sergeant, said to me, why don't you start walking or working out? He said, I used to be really tired. And then when I got a routine of working out in the morning, getting up, I would feel so refreshed when I got finished. And I said to myself, well, I'm not a morning person. I don't want to get up so early. But then I tried it anyways. And what I found out is after a few days of exercising, in the morning, instead of feeling tired in the morning, because I would get up and probably for the next hour just kind of drag around and would be so tired, but it gave me energy. And I was surprised that it gave me energy. And I am understanding that it gave me energy for several reasons, because of what it was releasing in my body, but also because it boosted my self-esteem. It made me feel more accomplished. It made me feel like I was taking care of myself. So keeping active is definitely a way to take care of your mental health. The next thing is, good morning, Bustine. God bless you. The next thing is eat well. Eat well. What does eating well have to do with your mental health? Your food and your mind, how does it go together? It says that your brain needs a mixture of nutrients in order to stay healthy and to function well. There are strong links between what we eat and how we feel. For example, caffeine and sugar may have an immediate effect, but food can also have a long lasting effect on your mental health. Your brain needs a mix of nutrients to stay healthy and function well, just like the other organs in your body. A diet that's good for your physical health is also good for your mental health. A balanced diet includes lots of different types of fruits and vegetables, whole grain cereals or bread, nuts and seeds, dairy products, oily fish, and plenty of water. Eat at least 3 meals a day and drink plenty of water to limit how many high caffeine or sugary drinks you have and avoid too much alcohol. So, your mental health is stabilized by what you eat. Your brain is an organ in your body. It's just like any other organ. And there are certain things you eat to promote your kidney health, your heart health, your liver health. There's things that you eat in combination of good food that helps promote your brain health, that keeps your brain functioning so that you will fight off dementia and different things, because there are different studies that shows that certain diets will help to slow the impact of dementia and other memory loss things. In fact, there is a Dr. Daniel Amen, that I would suggest that everyone look into him, get some of his books. He says the key to a better body is in being in shape, being energized and youthful, is a healthy brain. If your brain is healthy, you are able to function properly, make all the decisions that's needed for you to have a better physical body, for you to have a better life. The next thing is drink sensibly. We often drink alcohol to change our mood. Some people drink alcohol to deal with fear or loneliness, but the effect is only temporary. When the drink wears off, you feel worse because of the way the alcohol has affected your brain and the rest of your body. Drinking is not a good way to manage difficult feelings. Apart from the damage too much alcohol can do to your body, you would need more and more alcohol each time to feel the same short term boost. There are healthier ways of coping with tough times. Occasional light drinking is perfectly healthy and enjoyable for most people. Stay within the recommended weekly alcohol limits, 14 units a week for both men and women. Some people, and that doesn't mean 14 drink 14 drinks, but 14 units of alcohol. Many people also smoke or use drugs or other substances to change how they feel. But again, the effects are short term. Just like alcohol, the more you use, the more you crave. Nicotine and drugs don't deal with the causes of difficult feelings. They don't solve problems, and they create them. Now let's talk about this age old thing, because I know we say, well, as Christians, it's a sin to drink. I don't read in the Bible that it is a sin to drink, but we should not become drunken with wine. And this is one of the main reasons why. First of all, God does not want anything to take his place, take his glory. He does not want to have to compete with the thoughts in your mind, because you are impaired from alcohol. But the other thing is he told us to take care of our bodies. He wants our souls to prosper as well as our bodies to prosper. He wants us to be in good health. We cannot stay in good health when we abuse alcohol. That is the reason why it is taboo in a Christian life, because we have to be so careful to be disciplined if we make the choice to consume alcohol, and to not allow it to take the place of us going to God for our issues and problems, for us being disciplined and to seek counseling and professional help for our problems. Anytime we use a drink to say, I had a hard day, come on, y'all, because you're not going to like me after this. I've had a hard day. I just want something to drink to take the edge off. That's that thin line of depending on the alcohol to deal with an issue. Now, if it's, oh, this has just been a long day, nothing specific has happened to make me upset or alter my emotions in that way. I just want to relax with this glass of wine. That's different. But if your coworker cursed you out and you're going home and you're still just thinking about that problem, and you're using that alcohol to not think about it anymore, that's not healthy. That should never be your escape, because what it does, it opens the doors. I have someone that's very close to me who is an alcoholic, and he can't make it through the day without a drink. He can't function without it started as a way to cope with rejection and hurt and pain and things that happened in his childhood, things that have happened in the past. And now it is a lifestyle, and it has affected his body. It has affected his health, that he's in and out of the hospitals now. There's another young lady that I know, same thing. But did they start with that in their mind and say, I want to be an alcoholic? I want to be addicted. I want to have to drink alcohol every day? Of course not. Of course not. But it started with the mindset of, I just got into a fight with my boyfriend. Let me go get a drink to take the edge off. I just got into a fight with my girlfriend. Let me take a drink to take the edge off. And now it has turned into an addiction. That is why it is just best to not even open Pandora's box, not open, take the lid off. But if you take the lid off, make sure that you are disciplined. Make sure that you even pray and say, God, I don't believe your word doesn't say that I should not drink, but God, let me have the sensibility and the discipline and the spirit to never allow this to take your place, so that I can make sure that I don't damage my spiritual life with you or my health. The next thing is number 5, keep in touch. Keep in touch. What do you mean by keep in touch, Lady Danielle? There's nothing better than catching up with someone face to face, but that's not always possible. You can also give them a call, drop them a note, or chat with them online instead. Keeping the lines of communication open is good for you. Strong family ties and supportive friends can help you deal with the stresses of life. Friends and family can make you feel included and cared for. They can offer different views from whatever is going on inside of your head. They can also keep you active, keep you grounded, and help you solve problems, practical problems that you are facing. If you're feeling out of touch with some people, look back and look at it. Make sure that you talk about your feelings and get started. Connect with somebody that you can get started. And those two things just really go hand in hand. And I can tell you now, I am living in number 5. I'm living in the keeping in touch phrase. And God has pushed me there. I was telling my girlfriend on yesterday, if you guys will notice, one of my best friends from 20 years now. She was in town on yesterday and she came in and we had just a couple hours to catch up as like girlfriends. Nothing, we met at my hair salon, so nothing has changed. She came in town and she was like, hey, can you stop by and see me? And well, if you don't mind, can you do my hair and makeup while I'm here? I said, yeah, girl, I can. But and that was so refreshing for me because I am still healing. I'm in a storm right now, but it seems like for the entire last week, solid, God has kept me in the place of being able to touch and reconnect with sister friends. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, every day of the week, I have sat down and spent time with friends that maybe I haven't been in touch with as much. And it has helped me to stay so focused that I have not thought about at much at all. In fact, we didn't even talk about it all week long. I've just been focusing on loving on my friends, getting to know them. And a few times I may have talked to about my situation to one person that I knew I could trust that would not regurgitate the things that I was feeling. It was just briefly for a few moments because it was the fellowship that made me feel like, hey, I am worthy. I am worthy to enjoy life. I am worthy to move forward in life. I am worthy to let this go and to enjoy all the things that God has for me because it's nothing like a friend. It's nothing like a good girlfriend. Men, I'm sure it's nothing like a good guy friend to talk to you, help you laugh, and to just help you move forward when you are in a situation. So keep in touch. Keep in touch with your friends and loved ones. Go out, do things to enjoy your life. The sixth thing is ask for help. Ask for help. None of us are Superman. We all sometimes get tired and overwhelmed by how we feel or when things don't go to plan. If things are getting too much for you and you feel like you can't cope, ask for help. Your family members and friends may be able to offer practical help or a listening ear. And there are local services also that you can go to. For example, you could join a support group to help make changes for your life. You can find a counselor to help you deal with your feelings and make a fresh start. You can call the council about nuisance or different things that's bothering you. You can visit a Citizens Advice Bureau if you want advice on debt or if it's a financial issue. And these are just some examples. You may be able to get a counselor to consider getting help if your difficult feelings are stopping you from getting on with life, having a big impact on the people that you live with or that you work with, or that's affecting your mood for over several weeks. So you want to make sure that you are asking for help. Your family and your friends are, that's why we're here. God did not create us an island. He did not put us here by ourselves because we were supposed to deal with everything alone. Yes, and I know what you're thinking, but some people, they take and exploit you. You tell them you want help, and by the time you get down the street to get help, they got your business in your street, in the streets. Yes, where you ask for help from, and that's why I say, start with a professional. If you don't want to feel like you're burdening or putting certain things on your family and friends, I get it. But find you some help somewhere. Get you a professional, someone that's neutral, that's trained, and that's paid. And it would be a violation of their ethics to tell your business, but seek out some help. When you get in a support group, it's a private place. Nobody's supposed to go outside of the support group and say, hey, I saw Danielle in here and she was crying, saying that she was going through abuse or whatever the case might be. But get some help, especially, oh, thank you, Holy Ghost, when you're dealing with things like abuse, emotionally or mental, emotionally or physical. It can be so traumatic that you've got to reach out to help. Because one thing that has helped me throughout life as I've dealt with different things that happened to me is finding out that you are not alone, finding out that somebody else has dealt with the same thing, and even how they cope with it can give you the courage and the strength to say, you know what, I thought it was just me, but I see this other woman who's strong and powerful now and is and beautiful on the inside and out, and this same thing happened to her, but she's thriving and she's going forward. I can do it too. But you won't know what has gone on. You won't know the testimonies of other sisters. You won't get that help unless you get out and ask for it. The seventh thing is take a break. Take a break. A change of scene or change of places is good for your mental health. It could be a 5-minute pause from cleaning your kitchen, a half-hour lunch break at work, a weekend exploring somewhere else. A few minutes can be enough to distress you. So give yourself some me time. That is what God has imposed on me. As I was telling you over this last week, it's just one thing after another. I've been able to just get out, enjoy my girlfriends, enjoy new scenery, new places. It says taking a break may mean it being very active. It may not mean doing, or it may mean not doing very much at all. Take a deep breath and relax. Try yoga or meditation, or just putting your feet up. Listen to your body. If you're really tired, give yourself some time to sleep. Without good sleep, our mental health suffers and our concentration goes downhill. And sometimes the world can wait. My God, I have found this out on my journey this year as I have been dealing with things and working on my mental health, making sure that I stay strong. I've learned and decided how to say no, how to cut off my lights. And if I need to, roll up under my covers and not let anyone bother me or maneuver me or move me anywhere. I remember just a couple weeks ago, someone was coming over to do some work for me that I really needed to do have done, but the man said, "Well, can you go to Home Depot and get such and such?" And I said, "No, I cannot go to Home Depot. So I'm going to have to just put this off and wait. I'm going to have to deal with getting this work done another day, because I had already told myself I was not going anywhere that day. I was going to spend that day in rest, and that's what I did." So he ended up going to Home Depot himself because he wanted to make the money and get the job done. Because I know, had I moved and gone to Home Depot, I would have moved out of my posture of rest, and then something else would have caught my attention, and then I would have been still frustrated. But so I have learned that dealing with, who, thank you, God, dealing with stress, anxiety, and depression, one of the ways that I deal with it and cope is I just take a day of rest. Once I take that day of rest, I posture myself and say, "Okay, God, I'm going to rest. I'm going to lay down 4 or 5 hours. I'm going to get me sleep. I may even go to sleep the whole day." And that's okay, because when I take that break, and I raise up that next morning, it's something that I've learned that just quickens inside of me. And I wake up refreshed, like, yeah, now I can take on the world. The other thing with the change of scenery, this past week, I went to Brunswick with the Georgia president for the NAACP. She invited me to come as a member of the clergy to join in and stand with her for support of the Ahmaud Arbery family. But we went up a day early, and because we went a day early, we had a chance to just be there first and not be rushed, and meet some people there and just see the town, see the city. We met a local historian that told us some things about the city of Brunswick, and just it was just a change of scenery totally from where we were. We found a nice restaurant to enjoy, sat down, had a nice dinner together, and talked. And just being in a different place, just knowing in my mind I wasn't in Columbus, that I was in somewhere different. It was so healing for me. When we got up the next morning, we were fresh, gung ho, ready to go to the event and to stand with our fellow clergy members. And it was in a place of a different place. So it just rejuvenated our minds and our spirits, just being there that one day early, having a change of scenery. I came back feeling like Superwoman. I told her, I said, this felt like a vacation inside of and working. So we vacated one day and worked one day, and it was great. Take a break, get a change of scenery, put yourself in a different environment, and watch how you feel. Good morning, Heather. Good morning, Mother Hogan. Good morning, Linda. God bless you. Our eighth thing, we're getting there. We're almost done, guys. But I know this is very, very important. Do something that you are good at. Do something that you're good at. So I know you're like, how does this help my mental health? Remember, everything affects your mental health. Everything that you do is in your brain. What do you love doing? What activities can you lose yourself in? What did you love to do in the past? Enjoying yourself can help beat stress. Doing an activity you probably enjoy and that means you're good at it, and achieving something boosts your self-esteem. When you do something that you are good at, you feel like, hey, I'm the boss. I'm the boss. I'm all this and that. And yeah, it's okay to say that you're all this or that. So concentrating on a hobby like gardening, or just simply as a crossword puzzle, can help you forget about your worries for a while and change your mood. It can also be good to have an interest where you're not seen as someone's mom or dad or partner or employee, but you can just be you. An hour of sketching helps you express your creativity. A morning on the football pitch helps you be active and gives you a chance to meet new people. learn instrument, whatever it is that you don't already know, but you've wanted to learn. Try that. Try something new. Or if it's something that you know that you're good at, maybe you're in business and you just want to take some time to focus on building your business and making some milestones in there and accomplishing. I know I feel good when I sit down and write the plan of things I want to do in my business throughout the year. And as I see it unfold, baby, I want to high five myself and be like, girl, you did that. And it just does something. It does something to boost your mental thoughts about yourself. Because listen, there are people that are attached to our lives that the enemy strategically puts in place to try to make us feel like we're failures, to try to make us feel like, hey, you're no good for that. And you have to do like David said. David said, encourage yourself. So do something that you're good at, because that is encouragement to yourself. When you achieve something, it makes you feel so great about who you are. The next thing is accept who you are. We are all different. It is much healthier to accept that you are unique than to wish you were more like someone else. Feeling good about your mental health boosts your confidence and to learn new skills, visit new places, and make new friends. Good self esteem helps you cope with life when life takes a difficult turn. Some of us make people laugh. Some of us are good at math. Others cook fantastic meals. Some of us share our lifestyles with the people who live close to us. Others live very differently. Be proud of who you are. Recognize and accept that you are not what you are not good at, but focus on what you can do well. Work out something about your if there's anything about yourself that you do want to change. Are your expectations realistic? If they are, work towards the change that you want to make in small steps. If you want to physically change your body, then work out and physically change your body. If you want to change how you are, my kids have told me for a long time, Mom, you're so mean. I know y'all don't think I'm mean because I'm not mean, but I'm a very direct person. So that's what they call by being mean. So I have started to take some classes just to find different ways to center my words so that they will be taken in a way that it is not perceived as being mean. And so there are different things that about yourself that when you know that it's affecting, good morning, God bless you, when you know that it's affecting other people, then you can say, well, hey, I can work on that. But just the core essence of who you are, as far as your likes, your taste, is different than other people, and other people don't like it and try to make you feel bad about it. Don't feel bad, honey. Embrace who you are. If you love it, then you rock it. You rock who you are. You rock your personality. You rock the things about yourself that's positive and that's bringing a great impact on people and on your business, on things around you. You rock who you are and accept it. The last thing, number 10, is care for others. Now, I know you say, well, how does caring for others have an effect on your brain? Friends are very important. We help each other whenever we can. So it's a two-way street. And support other people brings uplifting to you. Caring for others is often an important part of keeping up relationships with people close to you. It can also bring you even closer. It also helps us see the world from another angle that can help us out of our own problems in perspective. Caring for a pet can improve your well being too. The bond between you and your pet can be as strong as between people. Looking after a pet can bring structure to your day and act as a link to other people. Lots of people make friends by chatting to fellow dog walkers. So there's something about just connecting with other people, caring for them, doing for them. We are all servants. That is the essence of our foundational relationship with Christ. He didn't, thank you, God. I preached it the other Sunday. He didn't tell us to walk around here and use the fact that we are Christians and our ministerial titles to say, hey, I'm an apostle, I'm a pastor, I'm a teacher, I'm an evangelist. So y'all better respect me and serve me. On the complete opposite, he called us to the ministry gifts and gave us the ministry gifts that we have to be servants to one another, to care for each other. And so that is the core of who we are. We are all servants. Everybody who's naming the name of Christ, baby, you are a servant. And one of the biggest parts of your call and things that you must do is to care for others. When he talks about love, he say loves your neighbor as yourself. Do for others, because when you do for others, guess what? You don't have time to be self-absorbed. You don't have time to be caught up in your struggles, in your problems, because you're so focused on loving and helping somebody else that before you know it, the things that you were facing become minute. I was telling a friend on yesterday, going back to us standing with this Aubrey family, I told her, I said, I thought I was going through something hurtful, so painful and tragic. But when I stood out there and I heard that mother and that father talk about how devastating it has been for them to lose their son in such a criminal way, in such an evil way, and how they've had to sit in the courtroom and listen to the details of what happened to their child and how devastating and heartbreaking to them it was. I came back home and I said, forgive me, Lord. Forgive me for focusing so much on this little mess that I've been going through around here, and for breaking down sometimes and feeling like it was the end of the world, because what I'm going through is nothing compared to what this mother and father is facing right now. And to stand with somebody else and to be there for them help me to take the focus off and help me to see and understand that there are bigger fish out here to fry, that I need to pull away from focusing on my situation and get out here and help more people, support more people. When you care for others, your mindset shifts from I to we, and life becomes what it's supposed to be about. Supposed to be about other people. It's not always supposed to be about you. So I pray that these tips and nuggets helped you guys today. And I ask that you would today, for this self-care Saturday, take out some time. Remember some of these things. Play the video back if you need throughout the week, and figure out how it is that you can take care of yourself. Because when you take care of your mind, that's how you're able to take care of others. When you have a healthy mind, when you have a healthy thought process, when you have a healthy way of dealing with things, then you can care from others for so many perspectives, and you can help to teach others how to deal with and cope with their own problems. But you first got to take the step to make sure that you are healthy. I love you guys. God bless you. Have an absolutely fantastic Saturday, and I'll see you back here in the morning at 6:30 a.m. and we're going to go to church tomorrow, y'all. God bless you. I love you. Have an absolutely fantastic day.